Welcome to the Soulish Podcast. My name is Whitney Apke, and I'm your host. On the Soulish Podcast, we talk about the soul journey and the body soul spirit connection specifically. And I have guests, and I also have solo episodes like this one today. And it's just awesome to be able to share my soul journey as well as hear from amazing people from amazing, different, various walks of life, very diverse, and very diverse backgrounds in like what they do and what their purpose is here on earth. And so, always enjoy having guests on and just expanding my awareness, helping you to expand your awareness on things and just share with you good info, good things, right? That's all that this podcast is all about. Anything that helps us connect deeper, anything that helps us to heal, anything that helps us to shift and to transmute, whatever that is. So, I'm very much honored to have this podcast for now 4 years. Can't believe it. 4 years strong. And with like a little break in this last year, just because of my health and all of that, the journey I've been on. But it's just been such an honor, and I just want to start the episode with thanking you, the viewer, the listener, for continuing to support me, for continuing to support me in my health journey specifically, but also to listen and to subscribe and to share. It's just been amazing to have a community of people that are willing to share their journeys with me, and that's been maybe one of the things that I just did not see when starting this podcast was how much I would hear from other people and get to have people share with me their journeys and to work with them or just to support you. It's just been amazing and I'm so honored. So just want to start with that. And today's episode is going to be one that isn't going to focus on anything medical or anything health related necessarily, but a part of this journey that I've been on, it's really helped me to navigate certain different things. And one of the conversations that was coming up was about perfectionism, because when you're trying to heal and you're trying to transmute, trying to shift, trying to grow, right, trying to get better, trying to improve yourself, it's really hard to not have that standard of perfection of what you think and want and your goal. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Like in your health journey or in your gym journey, like obviously we all have like what we view as like an ideal body, optimum health, right? Optimum performance, optimum athleticism, right? And we can have that idea of what perfect, optimal, what we want, our goal. And that's great to have as a visualization. But what's not great is to pursue perfection over connection. And that's been one thing that I have focused on. So that's what I want to dive into today and talk about. A little update, just because I know I will get DM'd, I will get commented or reached out to emails. But so I am going to be switching up the podcast format. I'm realizing that every week is not sustainable for my lifestyle right now and where I'm at. And specifically in the last 2 weeks, I've just been doing a lot of testing. I will have it in the show notes, a link to this, but I went through and I'm really proud of myself for going through Function Health and getting my blood work done. And I've been getting results in the last couple of weeks, and it's been instrumental in understanding like my biomarkers and where my body's at, because I've done a lot of cleanses and I've done a lot of different lifestyle shifts and modalities and treatments I've been bringing in. And so it's been really cool to see like just a snapshot, at least 2 weeks ago, of where I was in my biomarkers and kind of what's happening, concrete evidence, right, of what's happening in my body. I did not test for any cancers. They don't recommend that if you've had cancer at all within the last 3 years. But there's so many like immune biomarkers that they do. They do over 100 different biomarkers. It's just insane. And I added a couple different biomarkers that I was specifically also wanting to just look for, like while I'm doing it, might as well throw that one in too. But really, truly, they test every function, every organ. It's fantastic. Like I honestly, I've been the annoying friend that's been calling people and been like, Can I just have a moment and tell you about Function Health? I'm so impressed. And it's not just been like what they test that's been so phenomenal and just amazing to get all this data. It's the fact that you feel so held and supported, even as you're going and getting blood taken. Like, I not only got reminders of what to stop eating or stop taking your supplements, or, hey, make sure you have a light dinner tonight that's like, nutritious and good, but light, so that you can fast and fast well. This will help and support you. It's like, and then they're like, wake up, you drink water, they give you all those reminders. And then after I'm like walking out of the clinic and I get a text that says, congratulations, you did it. This is such a great moment for you in your health journey. And like they're just so supportive. It's just so well done. Like so well done. Better than anything I've ever been on. Like I'm trying to think of like what app has ever walked me through step by step in the process like this. I don't think I don't think many. Um, and then, so you get all your biomarkers, and as you're getting them, you're getting what foods to limit, what foods to eat, you're getting supplements, self-care, causes why this biomarker matters. They really try to educate you because not all of these biomarkers are like standard biomarkers that most doctors would test. They do a lot of biomarkers that doctors often will not ever test for. Even if you were to ask for it, they won't do it. But they think and feel it's vital in you having like a full picture. Anyway, I digress. They give you a clinician's like report after. So then you get like this whole picture of like out of all the biomarkers that are good, all of the biomarkers that are out of range in some way, below or above what the range is, which is a general range, by the way. So you do have to go see an expert, which I will be connecting with Amber here soon and giving her my hormones. I'm really honestly going to give her everything and see what she says. But a hormone expert, someone that knows like what is technically a little elevated versus a little, below like where you want. And so I think that's really important. But it's really cool that they give you a clinician's report and all of that. When I was getting my first, I'm almost done. When I when I got my first blood draw, the nurse was actually telling me, she's like, this is so cool that you're doing this. She's like, honestly, it's fantastic. I can't believe that like this even exists because she was like, you do know that this is like $8,000 to $10,000 worth of labs, right? I was like, $8,000 to $10,000 worth of labs. She's like, easy, easy, $8,000 to $10,000 worth of labs. And I'm like, for $500, holy crap, that's amazing. So I digress. I will stop boasting. I just think it's amazing. Functionhealth.com. The link's in my bio. It's a referral link so that you can get any kind of discounts or anything like that. Any benefits for me going through this that you can get, I want you to receive. So there you go. It's been interesting because part of this whole conversation that I want to have with you today about perfectionism is it's been interesting seeing the biomarkers, and I don't have many that's out of range, which hallelujah. But it's been interesting the conversation that's been happening around the perfectionism and even like the guilt or the shame or anything that I've struggled with prior, even just with dealing with cancer. But I find myself even in the gym doing this where I am upset because I'm trying to continue to grow or I'm trying to continue to get stronger. And yet I'm maybe not hitting the same deadlift or the same squat or the same clean and press, or even bench press that I was doing before. And struggling with that and struggling with the fact that like I want to continue to up it 5 pounds, right? Or I want to continue to get stronger. I want to continue to feel better when I'm trying to run. I suck at running. I suck at cardio. But even in like my career and like what I'm learning, right? And how I'm progressing in what I do and how I spend my life. I want to get better at finances, right? All the things, right? All the lifey stuff. But even spiritually, like I want to be more connected. I want to be have more insight, more intuitive downloads. I want to have stronger pings, as we also say, from TBM to be magnetic, is that's their term, is pings. I want more pings. I want to be more, have more of a conversation daily, and working really hard to cultivate that, right? Like it's not just a want, but like actually doing the things to cultivate that relationship and that connection with self, and feeling like sometimes it's not always happening, sometimes it's not always popping off, right? And is amazing. So um it's been interesting because I've sunk into this realization that we live in a world that really focuses and prioritizes perfection, um, and optimization, or improvement, and having those benchmarks or biomarkers or whatever it is, right? And I was talking to Spirit about it. I was talking to God. I was also talking to a few friends and had some really good conversations around it. And just kind of realizing that it's not about perfection, it's actually about connection. And it's been really interesting putting things into ChatGPT as I get results in. And like one of the main things it says is to connect in with self. Like that German New Medicine perspective is that there's a disconnection here, and this is why this is happening. So it led me to kind of mull this over that, here we are, the Soulish podcast. We talk about the body, soul, spirit connection, right? This is our main thing, the soul journey and the body, soul, spirit connection. But it is so easy to feel like everything it needs to be perfect. It needs to be exactly as it should be. Even that, like, I want this exactly how it should be. It should be right. It should be in the right way, in the right timing. Like we talk about all those things all the time. But what is the right timing? And what is the right way? What is optimal? Because it's different for everyone. But in the world we live in, it's very much displayed that this is how it is, because optimum health may look so different from me to you, right? Or me to even a family member that has like very similar genetics. We may have different bodies, different ways of expressing optimum health. So how can we look at someone and say, "Oh, that's not optimum versus me," or you're optimum, I'm not, right? And judge based off of that somebody can be skinny and have cancer. You don't have to be fat to have cancer, right? Like or a disease. Like that is not the parameter, right? It certainly doesn't help being overweight, but you get my drift. So I think part of the conversation I wanted to have with you today, and part of the conversation I've been having with myself, been having with others, is switching my brain and switching my motivation and switching my intention from perfection and reaching something to connection. Because even in a workout, if you're just like thinking about the motion and thinking about how much you're lifting, you're not actually connecting even with your muscle that you're trying to work, or the muscle that is going to lift that. You're just thinking the number, right? If you're saving, and working on your finances and working in your career, but you're not enjoying your life, why are you doing what you're doing? And if you're not enjoying what you're doing, why are you doing it? Right? But if you're passionate about your job even, but you're stressed out all the time, or you're working insane hours and you're like a robot, but you enjoy what you do, right? There's a lot of people like that in the workforce. CEOs, I talk with them all the time. Like they're passionate, love what they do, work insane hours, right? Whether it's nonprofit or corporate sectors, it doesn't matter. Like they bust ass and they work almost 24/7. They sleep maybe 3, 4 hours a night. But like, are they living? Is that your mission? Is that what is meant to be in this life? Is that why your soul came here? You know? And so I think that's kind of been my main thing, is the answer could be yes. And if the answer is yes, awesome. But are you connected in to be able to tell if that is indeed the case? If it is a yes. I know for me, in a lot of areas of my life, it's been no. And so I've been kind of in this like self-discovery or rediscovery of this thing to find, because I really think this is ultimately the whole reason why we came here was to reconnect with our soul, reconnect with the original you, not this personality, not who you show up as here on earth, not the name, not the personality, not the body, right? But the soul, your soul, which has lived multiple lives, right? If you believe in reincarnation, has had multiple different expressions. Are you as authentic to that original expression? And not saying that you're inauthentic if you're not who you are right now, right? But just kind of asking yourself, like, am I connected with that? Because I think that in a lot of ways we are expressing in a unique way now, and that is totally why we came here, and that's it. It's great. It's perfect, right? Meant to be. But at the same time, are we connecting in with our original soul, our original spirit, our original nature? And are we experiencing, expressing, achieving, um, everything we came here to ultimately. And that the only way to know that is to connect in with it. The only way to achieve anything is to be connected in with what you want to achieve and to feel it. And we talk manifestation, we talk law of attraction, we talk all of that, right? It's all over all the time. This is how you manifest this. This is how I manifested this. I did this and I said this and I, did this 8 times and dipped my face in water, whatever it is. That's the practices that they did. Really, the reason why we manifest anything or anything comes into our life is because we're deeply connected with it. It's not because we did this thing, we said this thing. You can say all the things and you can do all the things and be completely disconnected. When I was in church, I saw the same thing in a different costume, right? Lots of people who are just coming to come to church, whether because that's what their family does, it's just like a family thing. We come to church on Sundays, right? This is what we do, versus the people that were really connected in with even the experience of church and connecting with people, connecting with God in worship, connecting with the message. Like, you know, so it's just, I don't think it matters exactly what it is. Even I think just having that awareness of like, how connected am I in this experience, in this moment, in this day, in my life right now? And if you're disconnected, reconnect and take time to connect in with that experience or with this conversation. Be present with your life and not so future focused or so past focused, right? So a couple different, connection practices that I like to do. I'm reincorporating some of these like every day. And instead of waking up, I can be so like wake up and get about the business, which is great, like to be about the day and getting ready and getting out there or whatever it is, getting to the gym. But I'm really trying to take that back a little bit and start asking my soul what it wants to experience, asking me myself, like, how are you feeling today? What's coming up today? As well as physically, like, what do you need today? What kind of workouts do you need today? What kind of activity? What kind of food sounds good, feels good? Today, it was no egg day. Just I thought about it. I even did like a full body, really crazy intense workout that was really good. Enjoyed the hell out of it. But I came home and I was like, man, like I normally would just like immediately cook a couple of eggs and do that with like some kale, garlic, onion, like do it with some veggies and stuff like that, because that's kind of where I'm at right now with my regimen. Um, and I was like, I am not feeling I'm not feeling eggs at all. Eggs actually make me want to hurl, just the thought of them. And so I can just tell my body just doesn't want it. It doesn't want eggs right now, but I'm hungry, so it's like, okay, so let's figure out what we're gonna do now. So I think just connecting in and asking, what does my body need? What does my mind need? What does my emotional, body need? Is there anything that needs to be released or let go or forgiven or, transmuted, shifted, held space for, loved, peace brought to that thought or that feeling? Is there anything like that? What is it? What do I need? And I think that's like a really awesome way to start the day versus just like boom, boom, boom. Um, Another thing that I like to do is box breathing, or you can just even place hand over heart, hand over stomach, and do just some like cleansing breaths in through your nose and out your mouth. And you can hold it at the top. You can do whatever you want with the breath, but it's really just getting into your body, getting grounded, right? There's that, but there's also just stillness. Just as simple as just sitting quietly and just allowing all thoughts to kind of just fade out and just create space to just be. And that's actually been really powerful because I can immediately just be popping off with all the things. And it's actually been really helpful to just have a moment. It doesn't have to be long, but just be. Some of the things of like romanticizing my life in a way of like it's raining outside and all I want to do is go outside and sit in the rain. I want to feel the rain pelting my face. Um, Finding the storm or when a storm comes through, like getting in the car, finding a spot to park and to just enjoy it, you know? Or go for a walk and see what you smell, see what you feel, what the earth feels underneath your feet, what the wind feels like. Is it cool? Is it warm? As we're in between seasons right now. Um, and what smells can you smell nature and spring starting to spring up and the flowers and things starting to bud, and all of that. Like just getting really connected in with the moment, just being present, just being. When you're in a conversation with someone, instead of thinking of what you're going to say next, just really witnessing them as they're sharing, whatever they're sharing. Um, it really doesn't have to be complicated. I think connecting in is something that we naturally do. We just don't normally take the time to do it, in all honesty. But ultimately, I really feel, and I'm kind of on this journey, and I'm sure this is maybe coming up for you too, in different ways or the same, but it's not about perfection. It's about connection. And that's with anything in life, in any way, in any form. It's not about perfection, it's about connection. So I hope this podcast episode was helpful and encouraging to you where you're at. It's a little bit shorter today, but I've been feeling it and I was like, I have to have this conversation. I have to share this with you guys because it's been coming up for a lot of different people that I've been speaking to, whether you're on a health journey or soul journey, whatever it is that you're focusing on right now, spiritual journey, whatever it is. I just think really prioritizing connection right now is key for where we are individually and as a collective. So I am going to be doing episodes as I can. And I know that that's not really concrete for you, but I think my goal is 2 episodes a month. And that feels more doable than every week for me. So that's kind of what it's going to be. Because I am going to be going through another season of cleansing. As well as I'm looking into EBO2 therapy, and going to be probably doing that more towards like June, July time. So saving up for that, gearing up for that. And for me personally, astrologically, this like first couple months of the year is really focused in on finances, career, health. And then it gets more into like relationships and friendships and kind of more social stuff. So I think I'll have more energy towards that, which maybe then I'll do more episodes. I'm just going to do what I can and not push, but at the same time have really aligned episodes and really aligned conversations, and continue to also share with you the therapies, the alternative treatments, the things that I've been doing myself and looking into and all of that. So I can report back and let you know what's going on and how it feels, but also educate you if you don't know about the Rife machine or German New Medicine, or anything like that. So I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and sharing this episode for anyone that you feel really is kind of stuck in that place of perfection and is struggling to connect or reconnect. I hope this episode serves them, serves you. It certainly has been serving me to have this conversation. So sending so much love and light to you guys. Thank you so much.